Hello everyone, and welcome to the second PyCrafters recap session application video. Okay, so applications are a lot of fun. Last application video we actually created a website, which was pretty sweet. We put in our HTML skeleton, we added some headers. Let's build on that today using what we learned last video, or last week if you're watching this, and actually add in some of our elements that we learned last week. So make sure you have your homework paper sitting next to you, because we're going to go through step by step and actually add everything on that list, besides I think the favicon we're going to leave out. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now let's get into the actual building of our website. So what we're going to do is you're going to want to have your homework sheet in front of you, like I mentioned before, and we're going to strike out each item as we do it. So we're going to get through most of these today, hopefully all of them. So I'll be referencing this throughout the rest of the day. Now as we go through, I'm going to cross out all of the items that we do throughout today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So if we're looking at our list, the first item we're going to need is our title. Remember I mentioned we're not going to use our favicon, so we can cross that out right now. So only going to use the title. And so let's go ahead and add in our title. First we probably should find our website, which is right here. And to make things easier on ourselves, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put our entire website inside of a file, and I'm going to call it PyCrafters, and you know what, I'm going to do Crafters website. Now I'm going to move this guy inside of here like so, and I'm going to put that up there because we don't have to worry about that. And now I'm going to open up this file. Now you'll notice all we have in here is our HTML file, so we're going to go ahead and open this up with Sublime Text. If you're doing this on a Windows machine, you're going to see exactly the same thing. It's just not going to have these curved edges and all that, but you're going to see an open with, and hopefully you've installed Sublime Text, so you can go ahead and open it with Sublime. Once that opens up, you'll see what we had before, which was PyCrafters, home, welcome to the site, and I think that's what we have on our site. So let's actually take a look at what our website looks like. So we're going to double click this file and open it up in our browser window. As we make changes, I'd like to see those changes implemented, so I'm going to make this split screen just so that I can see the changes over here and then have them seen over here, make the changes over here. So first thing we want to do, like we said, is add a title. So in order to add a title, we actually have to have a head. So let's create two head tags. Well, this is really one head tag with a start and an end. At least that's the way I like to think of it. So now we indent in, and we're going to do title. And as you can see, it kind of fills it in for us. Now, as you know, the title is this bit right here. Right now, it defaults to whatever your file name. In this case, this is our file name. This is the complete file path. But our file name is this pycrafters.html. So that's what our title defaults to, but we don't like that. That doesn't look very professional. Let's change that to say simply PyCrafters. And I'm going to hit Control S, go over here, Control R, and you'll notice right away our title has changed. So let's go ahead and cross that out in our list. I am going to, let me minimize this so we have less stuff open. Very good. And now we can cross out our title. Yay! There's one done. Now we need at least 3 headers. So if we go back over here, you'll notice that we actually have 3 headers, and we've implemented that on our site in a way that is both formattingly friendly and semantically friendly, and it looks nice and gets the information out there in a way that we want it to be, and is the most standard way of doing that. So this is pretty much done, so we can actually cross that off our list. We have at least 3 headers. Now we need a paragraph. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a p tag down here, and I'm going to put in some random text that talks about the PyCrafters site. The PyCrafters website was designed to look sweet-tastic. Not a real word. This isn't either, but you get the idea. There it is. And if we hit Control S and we go over here and refresh, there you go. So now if I were to add some more stuff like, I think it does look sweet-tastic, and it gets the info out there in a user-friendly way. Save, we go over, refresh, and there we go. Now you'll notice this doesn't exactly look quite right here. I would say that if we wanted to make this look better, we would probably want this to be on the next line down. That gets. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use our break tag that we talked about. And I'm going to put that right here. Save it, move over, refresh, and now you'll notice gets is now on the line below. It's hard to see what this looks like, so there we go. That's our break tag right there. Now, you'll notice if I resize this, the text over here does resize, and that doesn't look quite right. So that's generally why we don't like to use that. If I were to save this now and refresh this page, yeah, that looks a little better. However, if we move this over, now it's like that. So that's something you have to think about when you're designing a web page like this. What does it look like in all kinds of different views? A big thing today for web developers to think of is something called a phone, a smartphone. You really have to think about how your website is going to look inside of a very, very tiny screen, which is about the smallest screen you can get. This is what it would look like on a phone. So you really need to pay attention to how would my code look if this were on a super, super small screen. You can't always think that people are going to be using the same size screen that you have or that you've been designing in. So I'm going to keep it in this screen for now because you can see all my tags just fine. Alright, so now we have added a paragraph, so we can cross paragraph off the line. Now we need a picture. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up the code, and then I'm going to go on the website and actually download a picture, and I'm going to walk you guys through the entire process. So we're going to type in image src equals quotation marks, okay, and we're going to do a height and a width, and we don't really know what to put in there until we look at our image, so I'm going to actually hop on over to pycrafters.com, and I'm going to grab the logo that is on the About page. Was on the About page. Oh, I know, I moved it. Let me just grab a picture from somewhere. See if I can find a picture that I like. Not seeing one. Give me one quick second. Let's see here. Not there. Okay. What if I were to search for PyCrafters and see if a picture comes up? If I went to images, I'm going to find a lot of Raspberry Pi pictures, but probably no PyCrafters. Let's see. What do we find? A lot of pizza pictures, which is not exactly what we're looking for. Okay. Let's, instead of looking for a PyCrafters picture, look for a Raspberry Pi. Here we go. Alright, so here is our Raspberry Pi. We could grab that, or we could grab the logo. I'm going to grab the logo because it's pretty darn sweet. We're going to save image as, and we're actually going to put it inside of our desktop, and we're going to put it inside of that file that we had here, which was called, we called it PyCrafter's website. Inside that file with our HTML file. Okay, so now we're going to save it there. Portable network, yeah, okay, whatever that is. And I'm not going to hide the extension. .png is what we want. So, let's save it here. And now I think it's time we learn a little bit about links and the difference between a link that's in a file and a link that is in the cloud. So, if you look here, this is our file, this is our HTML website, and this is our logo, or the picture we want to use. Notice it's in the same file as this one. If it were not in the same file, I would need to reference the file that it's in. So if I had it in the desktop, rather than just typing in this name, I would have to type in desktop / this name. Okay, so let me demonstrate this fact by putting it on the desktop, grabbing the name, and I need to include this .png. Copy that, and I'm going to put it in my Sublime Text. Now, let me put this in the source, and I'm going to save this, and I'm going to pop on over to Chrome, and oh no, there's nothing here. I wonder why. Well, I talked about why, so you should know that if I put /desktop, save that, refresh, that's not going to work either, actually. What we need to do here is actually a little different from what you might be used to. So don't pay any attention to this. Give me a quick second. Alright. It's very complicated once you don't have it in the same file. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that stress and simply put it in the same file as our HTML website. So if I can find my file here, oh, I see. Here we are. It was trying to hide on me. We're going to put this in this file right here. And now, if I close this, save this, and I refresh this page, you'll notice, ta-da! There is our Raspberry Pi image. Woohoo! Success! Okay, and that's because it's in the same file as our HTML website. That's pretty gigantic. I'm going to change that and make it a width of 200 and height of 200 and a width of 200. Save that, and this might look a little weird. Yeah, it's a little oblong. Let's make the height 300. A little better. Let's make it 250, and I think we'll be there. Ba-ba! Perfect! So this is actually measured in pixels, which is px. So if we put px, it would actually be the same thing. Just so that you know what unit of measurement we're using here is actually pixels. So there we go. So there's our image being used. Okay, so there's an image. Ta-da! We can actually cross at least one picture or image off of our list. Now we need at least one link, so you should know how to use the links from the last video. So I'm gonna just real quick put an A, href, and A, and such, and we're gonna do www.pycrafters.com. Okay, now we're gonna say the PyCrafters homepage, and we're gonna save that and open up our website. Now if I click that, it takes us to the PyCrafters homepage. Now let me just experiment real quick and see if I can make this open in a new tab. If I were to do target and I were to do underbar blank, should open in a new tab, but I was having issues with this the other day, so let's see. There we go, it does work. So that opens it in a new tab, so we don't override the website we have here, which is very nice. So all I did was target equals quotation mark, end quotation mark, underbar blank, just like you see there. So, let's see. I think I want a bit of a space there because it doesn't exactly look very nice. So let's put a break in there. Save that, refresh, and there you go. There's more of a break there. Okay, so now we have added a link, so we can cross that out. Now we need at least one picture / link. So that's actually very easy to do, and we're going to do that simply by combining what we have now. So I'm going to put a, let's see, another H3, and I'm going to say down, let's see, actually I'm going to say example of pic / link. And then I am simply going to copy this image that I have before, and I'm going to put it down here, and rather than using our, let's go ahead and copy our link as well, because we're going to need that as well. I'm going to link to the same place, and I think I'm going to link to the raspberrypi.org site anyways, so we can change that, org and Raspberry Pi. Hopefully that is a website. We're going to find out just how good my website memorization skills are. Okay, so this here is the text that we're seeing. It says the PyCrafters homepage. If you look here, it says the PyCrafters homepage. If I were to save, oops, sorry about that. If I were to save and refresh, PyCrafters homepage. Now let me see if my link works. Yay, it does work. Alright, excellent. That makes me feel better. Okay, so there is that. So instead of using text, since this is just a nested thingy, nested tag element, okay, we are going to actually use, why didn't that remove that line? I don't want a line there. Oh well. Okay, we're going to use, we're going to nest this inside of here. So you'll notice here's our start, and it's underlining it. This is our end tag. So if we were to, well, usually there's a drop-down menu, but it's not going to work with me today. But this is our A tag, and this is our end A tag. So you'll notice this actually image is now part of that A tag. So this whole thing is the A tag, although we have this image tag nested inside of it. So if I were to save this, open this up, refresh the page, and click that link, I can actually click that image and it will take me to that website, which is pretty darn cool. Alright, so we can cross that off our list. We have a picture / link, done and done. Now we need a list with 3 items. I'm going to do both lists just because it's fun. Now, if you'll remember from the last lesson, we have an ordered list and an unordered list. Let's first do an ordered list, OL. Now we need some list items, LI. And let's say this is, let's see, I'm going to put an H3. So I'm going to say H3 and some cool things about the PyCrafters class. Alright, so an ordered list. Let's make this an unordered list because that would fit better in this situation, and I'll show you why in a second. So first thing is you get to learn awesome stuff. Second thing is you can have fun. Third thing is, so LI, learning is awesome. And actually, let's change this to learning code is awesome. Awesome. Save this, and we're going to open this up and refresh, and you see some cool things about the PyCrafters class. You get to learn awesome stuff. You can have fun, and learning code is awesome. So that's just some random stuff, right? Let's make an ordered list and show you what it is. So let's do ordered list and list item. You get to learn awesome stuff. Okay. And okay, so essentially this is going to be number 1, you get to learn awesome stuff. Number 2, you can have fun while doing it. I'm going to make that just like I did here. 1, 2, and then 3. And then this makes learning code awesome. Makes learning to code, actually. And I'm going to change that to learning to code. Alright, save that. Now, so now we have, so here's some random stuff. You get to learn awesome stuff. You can have fun, and learning to code is awesome. So these kind of don't really fit together. They're just kind of random statements. So it's an unordered list. But they are grouped together. So we could say these are random statements. Then we could say this is an ordered list. You get to learn awesome stuff. Number 1. Number 2, you can have fun while doing it. And number 3, this makes learning to code awesome. So hopefully you can see the difference between an unordered list and an ordered list. And I'd like you to use both if possible inside of your website that you make. Alright, so let's cross a list with 3 items off the list. Finally, we have our last item, which is a wee bit controversial. And the reason I say that is probably if you watched the last video, you know what I'm talking about. We can do this with CSS, and it's much better practice to do it with CSS. People don't use this tag anymore because of CSS, but we're going to go ahead and use it, break all the rules, and be rebels just for today because it is a kind of a nifty tag, and it's nice to use. So you see I've wrapped everything in a center tag, just nested it all inside there. Technically, I should do this just to move it all over. Okay, and I save this and open this up, refresh, and da-da-da-da, there's everything over here just like so. Alright, so what I'm going to do is real quick make this look a little nicer. You can do this if you want to. You don't have to do this, but I like to. This is actually a CSS thing we're going to go over in the next video. Inline block. So if you look at the unordered list right now, these are over there. We don't want them there, so I'm going to make them inline blocks so that it's over there. And I'm also going to do that for the ordered list just because it makes it look a little nicer. So we're going to change the display property to inline block as well. We're going to save that, and there you go. Alright, so, I don't like that. Let's change this to break, line break, ta-da. Okay, good. Alright, so there is that. Now, these are not centered. I don't know. We can leave it like that. We don't have to get into specifics. Whew! That is a lot of stuff. Let's cross this off. So, hopefully, you have everything crossed off your list, and your web page looks something like this. I can zoom in and make this stuff bigger, and it kind of like fixes itself. So, here's some pretty sweet stuff. I mean, this doesn't look too bad for starting out. I think this is like your 4th week of working with HTML, and you have a website that looks like this. It's got a title, which is pretty sweet. You have pictures you can click on and make them link to places and do things. This is really cool. So, hopefully you haven't had any issues, and nice work. Alright, so that was a lot of stuff we went over. That was about 20 minutes of good, hard, solid HTML work. That was a lot of fun for me to do. Probably a lot more fun for you guys to do because I've done it a lot. So doing that for the first time and making your website look like that is probably an amazing feeling. So good work, pat yourself on the back. You did some pretty cool stuff today. So hopefully you went through the entire homework list, you got everything done. If you didn't and you have questions, like I always say, hopefully in every video, I can't say it enough, join the Slack chat for help. If you're watching this on YouTube, go in the comments below and ask questions. I will always respond, hopefully within a week or maybe even a day if it comes up on my phone soon enough. So I hope you had a lot of fun in this application video. Application videos are, in my opinion, the most fun part of the class. So what I want to do for the next video is actually do a CSS specific segment. Now CSS isn't required for you for this homework, but hey, it makes everything look really, really cool. So hope to see you guys in the next video. Hope to see you next week. Have questions, like I said, Slack. Otherwise, video comments, and see you guys later. Bye.